Alhamdulillah, we are here at one of the most precious and beautiful places in the entire Islamic world, in the presence of Mevlana Rumi. His name is Jalaluddin and he is from Balkh, Afghanistan. Born in the 1100s, along with his father Bahauddin Balkhi, he migrates to Konya. The Mughal invasion was strong and many Muslims were migrating. So Alauddin, who at that time is the Seljuk Sultan, invites Bahauddin, Mevlana Rumi's father, to come to Konya. They leave on this journey that takes many years. It's not a quick journey. They stop in Tabriz, in Baghdad, meeting many scholars and saints on their journey. One saint that they met, a very important saint, in fact, one of the greatest saints, Sheikh al-Akbar Ibn Arabi from Andalus, who at that time was Muqim, was staying in Damascus. When he sees Mevlana Rumi walking behind Bahauddin, he says, "Look, an ocean is following a river," meaning that Mevlana would surpass even his own father in terms of his spiritual greatness. Mevlana grows up studying in Damascus and other places in the Islamic world, mastering all of the Islamic sciences. Mevlana is teaching in Konya. He's also a spiritual giant, not just an outward scholar, but an inward scholar. But there was someone that he needed to take him to the highest station, and that was Shams Tabriz, his sheikh. When he meets Shams Tabriz, he meets him in the most miraculous way. Shams Tabriz displays before him a miracle. When Rumi sees the miracle, he says to Shams Tabriz, "Ichi's ast, what is this?" And he says to Mevlana, "At this point, you are unable to truly understand what this is." Mevlana then, following his sheikh for the next 20 years, trying to learn the inward science to the highest degree, surpassing all of those in his time. Mevlana would say himself, "Maulvi hargiz nashud Maulay Rum, ta ghulami Shams Tabriz nashud," that Maulvi, referring to himself, could never have become Maulay Rum, whose fame spread from east to west, had it not been for the servitude of Shams Tabriz. Many people, however, think that Mevlana was unorthodox, that Mevlana was different to normative Islam. Nothing could be further from the truth. In fact, Mevlana himself says, "Man bandai Qur'anum, agar jadaram." He goes, "I am a servant of the Qur'an as long as I live. Man rahe darre Muhammad muhtaram." I am the dust beneath the feet of the Prophet Muhammad. He was fully orthodox in his outward and in his inward, but he was so special and beloved to Allah that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made his fame even up until this day, even amongst those that are not Muslim. We're very happy, we're overjoyed that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has allowed us to visit Mevlana in this most beautiful and serene place, and we convey our greetings to him, and we hope that we could be raised with the likes of Mevlana, his father and teachers, and our Prophet on the Day of Judgment. We're standing in the complex of Mevlana Rumi. This used to be a garden. This garden was gifted to Mevlana's father Bahauddin Balkhi by the Seljuk Sultan Alauddin. He is the one that invited Bahauddin to migrate to Konya. And when Bahauddin comes, he is waiting for him himself, getting off his horse barefoot due to his love, respect and honor for Bahauddin Balkhi. He spends a lot of time with him and he gives him this garden, in which Bahauddin Balkhi himself is buried. And later on Mevlana is also buried here, and now they're buried together. It has some lovely features, some rooms in which you can see as a museum how life used to be at that time. The most significant feature, however, is behind me here, this white building which used to be the kitchen. This is where the poor, the dervishes, the guests used to be fed. And in this kitchen, the head cook was somebody very important to Mevlana Rumi. The cook of Mevlana Rumi, who was very special to Mevlana, his name was Atishbaz. He was loved by Rumi due to his sincerity and his devotion to Mevlana. Such devotion that when Mevlana had guests and there was no wood to set the fire, he believed in his heart that his sheikh was righteous, pious, and a man of God. And he could not fathom that he has guests and he is unable to feed them. Not having any wood, according to the report, he puts his own leg into the fire so that he could cook the food. And when he did, nothing happened to his leg, as a miracle, a sign of his devotion to Mevlana Rumi. Just for a moment, however, as he's removing his leg, he wondered, just for a moment, he speculated, he questioned, and that was enough for his toe to get burnt. And he realizes, what did I do? As long as I had certainty in the truth of my sheikh, that he is a man of God and I am in his servitude, nothing could happen to me. But the moment that, just for a moment, that he questioned or had a doubt, it was enough for it to burn his toe. Here within the complex of Mevlana Rumi, we have something very interesting. We have a tombstone dedication to Muhammad Iqbal. Muhammad Iqbal, as we know, is one of the founding fathers of Pakistan. A great poet, a great philosopher, a great scholar. Loved by the Indian subcontinent and beyond. Very well known, respected, honored and loved here in Turkey. Why he's given a tombstone here, it says it on the tombstone itself. It says, Pakistan Milli Shair ve Düşünürü, that the national poet and thinker of Pakistan, Muhammad Iqbal'e Aziz Murshidi Hazreti Mevlana'nın huzurunda bu makam verildi. That he has been given this maqam in the presence of his honorable sheikh. Why is Mevlana his honorable sheikh, even though they never physically met? Is because Iqbal himself used to consider Mevlana Rumi his peer. He used to say, my peer is Mevlana. And he tried to imitate Mevlana, not only in his poetry, but in the way that he lived his life. This has been accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala evidently. And that's why he is honored with his name to remain right in the presence of Mevlana. Iqbal's devotion to Mevlana was such that near the end of his life, his eyesight became very weak, so he could not read much. So he would only read the Quran and the Mathnawi of Mevlana Rumi. A famous line of poetry that Iqbal writes about Mevlana Rumi. He says, "E Imam-e Ashiqan-e Dardmand, yaad hai mujhko tera harf-e buland." Master of love, I do remember your noble words. That's how important Mevlana was to him, that in all instances Mevlana was before his eyes.